Unicorns gather. Hi everyone, welcome back to another podcast episode of my Dear Diary Faith Journey with Myasthenia Gravis. I'm Yuna, I'm a singer-songwriter and Myasthenia Gravis advocate, and this is a very, very special podcast episode. Well, every podcast episode is very, very special, but especially because June is MG Awareness Month, so I want to take a little time to raise awareness, which I always do, advocate for people, give comfort to those people, and answer all of you guys, all of the questions that you guys have given me through the forum. And if you have any other questions about MG or just want to share a story, please go to this link. I would also be talking a little bit about stories people have shared on Facebook, Myasthenia Gravis support group. It's a public group. There's also some private groups, but I wouldn't disclose any people's names or medical information. Okay, without further ado, let's talk about Myasthenia Gravis. So this is really cute. I saw this poster and I was like, this sloth is literally me. It's summer right now and I just feel like I feel really relieved that school is over, but at the same time, just like sleep time. So what is Myasthenia Gravis? Myasthenia Gravis is a rare, chronic, autoimmune disease that affects your nervous system communication with your muscles, causing muscle paralysis or fatigue throughout your body. These can include double vision, or diplopia is the medical term, droopy eyelids or ptosis, facial weakness, which includes smiling, winking, just any of that, difficulty speaking. So difficulty for me is like your jaw. It's hard to open and close your mouth, so people have hard time speaking. Difficulty chewing or swallowing. So again, all the voluntary muscles can be affected because our immune system creates harmful antibodies that stops the communication to happen, so our muscles aren't reacting to the signals from your brain, and that's why myasthenia gravis happens. So we also have weakness in neck, arms, and legs, and the most extreme case of myasthenia gravis is that it can affect your breathing, which leads me to another thing, myasthenic crisis. So a myasthenic crisis is a medical emergency. Difficulty breathing requires immediate medical attention. Knowing the warning signs can save lives. So some of the key warning signs we see here are difficulty breathing, trouble swallowing, severe muscle weakness, inability to hold the head up, and this needs urgent medical care. So this is something that we need to be aware of. Okay, so I have gone through the support group and just kind of seen for the past few days, a day or two, everyone posts a lot of their stories because there's newly diagnosed, not every day, but this is not a common disease, but there's definitely a lot of stories that are being posted up every single day, and I just want to take a little time to respond to these questions and talk to you guys about my experience. Okay, my first story post. What I hate the most about MG is the boredom, the isolation, and loneliness. I'm 70. Generalized myasthenia gravis affects my legs and my energy level. My strength and energy get used up very fast now. I don't consider myself to be elderly. Older, yes, but not that old. I used to be very active, and when I'm at home, I had a lot of hobbies. I loved creating. Now I just sit. I don't have the desire to do anything, but then I get bored and the boredom is driving me nuts. Signed, a nut in a lazy girl chair. You go, girl. You know, I think it is hard when you have flare-ups and your body is too weak to do anything. I would say when you have these symptoms, just have the grace to yourself. And I know it's hard because this person said they're very active. I was never really an active person. But I think there's a balance to everything. Okay, my suggestion is that when you have weakness, flare-ups, take the time to do something that doesn't require a lot of effort, such as like reading, listening to music, or watch TikTok videos. I don't suggest brain rot, but watch a movie or do something that doesn't require that much strength is my suggestion. Or drawing, painting. I love painting. You can see all the painting behind me. But do try to find hobbies that doesn't take that much effort, or just even watch the sunset, watch the sunrise. Do something that doesn't require that much effort is my suggestion. And I'm sorry that you feel like you're bored and isolated, but technology and everything has allowed for more communication and more awareness, which is a good thing. And I would say utilize it. It's great that this person have already reached out, posted stories. I didn't get to find support groups until more recently, which I was diagnosed when I was 17, and this is my 5th year anniversary of MG. Yay! So, in the beginning, when I got diagnosed with MG, I didn't try to find support groups. I was kind of more isolated, and I liked it a little bit because I was in I felt really vulnerable, and I didn't want to it's hard for me to speak about things I go through. But I would say if you're really struggling, reach out to people that care about you, like your friends, your family. Just talk to them, and for friends and family, just know you being there is already enough. You don't have to understand everything at first, but just being there and being understanding, being patient is the key. Love is patient, love is kind, Corinthians. Okay, next question. How many of you have a hard time explaining people what disease you have and what you are going through? I'm tired now. The red and white imagery, I can physically feel the madness, the frustration. I can feel it. But yes, myasthenia gravis is a rare disease, but that's why raising awareness is important, right, guys? Even if you don't have MG, sometimes knowing a little bit of more medical fun facts is good for you, and you can tell people, share this to your friends. I don't know about MG, and you're really cool if you know MG. You're my unicorn if you know MG, because I have MG. So if you're a unicorn, go ahead and share it to your friends and tell them that you care about them. You care about them even if you don't have MG, because mental health is also important, right? And that's also another big thing about raising awareness is that since this is a chronic illness, this is not a temporary gain. It's like you're fighting a battle with yourself every day just to be present. You're taking more effort compared to other people. You're taking more effort to brush your teeth. You're taking more effort to talk. I don't know if you guys can tell. I'm talking a lot right now, but it takes effort. It takes a lot of effort for me to talk. Because I had my life before MG and now I have MG, so I know the difference pretty clearly. But when you have flare-ups, just have a little bit of patience with yourself. You got this. We got this. Okay, another person said, one thing I've learned since being diagnosed with myasthenia gravis is just how important taking my medications on time really is. Yes. Before MG, missing a dose of medication here and there didn't seem like a big deal. Now I can definitely tell when my medications are wearing off. Things like chewing, swallowing, talking, keeping my eyes open, and even lifting my arms can become so much harder. My medications don't cure my MG, but they help me function and give me the ability to do the things I love, being a mom, a wife, a nurse, and just get through my day. I'll be honest. Some days it feels like all I do is take medications, go to appointments, get infusions for 5 days every 21 days, and think about my health. It can be exhausting. But I also know how much worse when I feel that my symptoms aren't controlled. And if you know someone with MG, just remember that there is often a lot more going on behind the scenes than what you can see. Many of us depend on medications and treatments every single day just to do things others don't have to think twice about. June is Myasthenia Gravis Awareness Month. The more people understand the disease, the better. Wow, I love how this person talked about the last few 2 paragraphs, just how there's often more going on behind the scenes silently. You know, it's hard. This is not something easy to share, and it requires a lot of brave courage to speak about what you're going through. So I'm really happy that this person's able to talk about their experience. And yeah, missing medication, that is something that's really hard, because I think medications, obviously, because they're medications, there are side effects and there's harmful things. It's not like, even though it's an immunosuppressant, so if it's suppressing your immune system, on one hand you're controlling your symptoms, but on the other hand you have increased risk of getting infections. You're more easily sick. This is kind of hard, so I definitely understand this person, but giving patience and raising awareness, we're all here for it, right? That's why if you have MG and you're going on a silent battle, you feel like you're going through a silent, unseen, unheard battle alone, just know that a lot of people are with you. No, I was struggling a lot when I was 17, so yeah, but we'll make it through. Okay, next person. I was recently diagnosed with MG by my neurologist. I'm on the capsule and IVIG, and it helps a lot with my fatigue. First of all, I need to clap. My question is, has anyone had their muscle strength come back after treatment? If so, how long did it take, and what have you done to improve it? It seemed for the last few years my condition was getting worse and I was losing myself. I slowly had to stop every activity, even yoga, which for a year was the only thing I could do. Now I can hardly move. I'm very outgoing and can no longer kayak, climb, bike, play with my kid. Yeah. First of all, I'm really glad that you're feeling better, because, it's always, I would say it's always the hardest when you're firstly diagnosed with MG, or you're just experiencing the symptoms and you don't know what it is, and the doctors don't know what it is. It's hard because everything's shutting off, and your doctor's saying there's no cure. Like, it feels like a nightmare, right? That you want to wake up from. But first of all, I just want to say thank you for the courage to speak about what you're going through. I definitely didn't have the courage when I just first started. Well, obviously, in the beginning, I was just more confused than like anything else. But have more grace for yourself. Obviously, I think for me, I've understood that life, sometimes you have times where you're going on adventures, you're having a great time, and you have times and seasons where you're taking rest. And okay, my faith is that I believe, God is with us through all these seasons of hardships, on your good days and bad days. And what I want to tell you, or tell the people right now, all these seasons make up your life, and life is a really precious thing. Don't think about, you might think, oh, I'm stuck at home and I can't do anything. But just know that God is with you, and you're gonna be okay. You're gonna right now take the time to get your energy levels back and feel better, and then when you're feeling more energized, do the things you love. But right now you can find something else to do. Like I said, watch a movie or paint, do something that doesn't take that much energy, or listen to music. Listen to my music. I miss you. Listen, stream my song. Okay. Next one. Has anyone else ever wondered about how MG affects our heart, since our heart is a muscle? Well, surprisingly, I had not until today. I researched and found the answer to be very interesting. Did you know that our heart is the only muscle in our body that knows exactly what to do without it being told to do so? Wow, that is amazing and semi-shocked me. So, since there is no communication involved, our hearts are safe from MG for the most part. I say that because I also learned that breathing issues do add stress to the heart. Just wanted to share something I found interesting in regards to MG. Blessings to all. Okay, so this person is talking about heart muscle. Yes, heart is a muscle because it's actively pumping your blood to your organs, your systems, so it can function, right? It's pumping oxygen. So the heart is a muscle. It's an involuntary muscle, and for MG, it affects the voluntary muscle. So the one that your nerves sends the signal to your muscle part so you can move. Okay, so next up, I want to share some questions that you guys have asked me in regards to this podcast and my journey with Myasthenia Gravis. So I'm gonna share some, and I would also respond to my Mandarin speaking groups. They've also given me some questions, so I'll respond to that later after I'm finished with the English speaking groups. Okay, first one. In what ways has MG physical... Oh my gosh, okay. I don't know why I just read that totally wrong. In what ways has MG psychologically hindered your relationships? Do people discriminate against you, seeing your condition as an inconvenience? Do you struggle with depression or self-esteem that causes you to be afraid of not being accepted? Ooh, this is... Okay, I know this person, Daniel. Ooh, oh gosh. Okay, Daniel is someone that have been on my podcast, and we've talked a lot about mental health. He has a lot of good questions. MG psychologically hinder relationships. I think for a lot of chronic illness people, it's because it's hard to even show up for yourself sometimes. How can you show up for other people? That's definitely a big thing, because when you're not able to do the most basic things of just getting through your day, it can affect your self-esteem. It can affect your relationships. But for me, I've definitely lost a lot of friends. But I think it's a normal thing, you know? Even without myasthenia gravis, friends come and go. Relationships come and go. But you know what doesn't come and go? God doesn't come and go. Hey, God is the answer. He's the beginning through the end. It's there. So that's why I put my faith in God, you know. People come and go, you know. Put your trust in God instead of people. I would say hinder relationships. I personally don't mind it now. I definitely was more bothered back then because I wanted to hang out with my friends, but I can't even I don't know, I can't open my eyes. It's just hard. I can't see. I can't move. I can't do anything. And I was stuck at home. I feel isolated. So it's hard, but I feel like the people that have stayed with me, never questioned me, gave me grace, was patient with me. I think those people are ultimately the people that I'm the most grateful of, like friends and family. And I don't really need a lot of friends, you know, like I'm just happy that Myasthenia Gravis has taught me a lot, and the people I've lost, I think it's fine, you know. Yeah, I think it's fine. Do people discriminate against you? Oh, seeing your condition as an income. Okay, this one I think I don't experience discriminate like very, very, how do I say this? Very straightforwardly. I think it's in ways that people can't understand what you're going through, because myasthenia gravis is so rare, and it's sometimes hard to tell people what you're going through. It's very vulnerable. And again, I love music. I was in a steel pan group, and you know, steel pan, we we have performances that requires moving, taking the instruments, and the instruments are like big oil drums and they're heavy. And I was going through plasma therapy, like really, therapy. And myasthenia gravis, sometimes I just can't, I was just not feeling well, right? And some people might say like, oh, you're just lazy or you're not doing your best or, but I think it's okay because I understand when they're like not unaware, and they're confused. And I try my best to explain to them what this is and what I'm going through. But I've heard this from someone, but they say like the best person that can advocate for you is yourself. No one knows no one knows exactly how to help you and exactly what you're going through than yourself. The doctors can try to help you, but you know your symptoms. Like, you know what you're feeling. A lot of the MG, like, you see the symptom chart, the doctors ask you those questions, and you personally tell them how you're feeling. Like, it's your body, right? You're responsible of your body. For me, I'm not responsible of other people's actions. I'm not responsible of how they feel towards me. I don't care that much if they're not close to me. But I do want to take the time to say this exactly why when I hear people that are being discriminated against because they're handicapped or whatever. There's a reason why we need to advocate for these people because this world sucks sometimes. This world sometimes it's not meant for people that are more physically or mentally more disabled, and having a chronic illness means that you are easily targeted. And that's the truth. And God is there for those that are brokenhearted. I'll go back to that quote, but definitely gain a lot of strength through him. I feel like I've gone past through the fear of not being accepted. I'm who God made, I'm perfectly made in his vision. So that's fine. I feel like now I have this story, it actually makes me feel proud. It makes me feel proud that I'm representing a group of warriors. MG warriors? Comment down if you're MG warriors. Like, you guys, we're one of the most toughest people out there in this world that are fighting this. It is, it's rare and it's hard. It's very difficult, but we're here. We're present. We're trying our best every day to show up. Clap for yourselves. At the end of the day, just be yourself, and it's okay to be yourself. It's okay to not be okay. Wow, that question took a lot of time, but next one. This is from someone that wanted to share their story. I was a normal person before diagnosed with MG. This disease made me completely broken out of which I've met myself, my soul. It made me feel more adaptive as a person for the current situation. It made me stronger physically, emotionally, and spiritually. MG can't stop me living my life. Just take some days as bad days in your life rather than defining the whole life. Yeah, I like how this person worded it. I think, yeah. MG and then in the beginning can feel very, very scary, but a lot of times God gives the scariest battles to the strongest warriors, the hardest one. But we got this, everything's possible through him. And I'm glad that this person is able to talk about how they have grown as a person physically, emotionally, spiritually. And yeah, just taking some days in your lives, just don't that MG doesn't define you, okay? Your weakness doesn't define you. The devil, the enemy might say like, oh, you've done that, you've sinned, or you have this illness, you can't do this. They might want to instill fear in your minds, but hey, we got this. We got this. And I'm glad that this person is able to share this with us. Okay. I love this one. And you guys know this is one of my favorite quotes. 2 Corinthians 12:9. My grace is all you need. My power works best in weakness. So now I'm glad to boast about my weaknesses so that the power of Christ can work through me. That's why I take pleasure in my weaknesses and in insults, hardships, persecutions, and troubles that I suffer for Christ. For when I'm weak, then I'm strong. Yeah, that's the that's the closing prayers for you guys. Corinthians, 2 Corinthians. But if you guys have any questions, more questions that you want to tell me, or stories that you want to share, let me know, or comment, and I'll talk about it next week. I'll share more every week, talk about Myasthenia Gravis or whatever you want to share about with faith. And if you have any prayer requests, also let me know. God bless you. And I'll move on to the Chinese Mandarin group right now.